Hi guys, let's talk astrology and the energies, and I'm going to send you guys some healing energies. I want to talk Mars retrograde. That means that your love life is meant to be going so much higher right now as we have a deep healing happening, as in touching the skies and mingling with sunsets. Mars retrograde is a powerful shift. We've been in it for a moment, but it's going to come to an end a little bit into January, I think the 12th, but the masculine's going to be feeling it too. We all have divine feminine and masculine energies in us though. So there's a lot going on right now with the other ascension energies and Mars right now. And I knew that last week. I was like, oh God, right? So we have Mars kind of coming really close to Earth. When that happens, it shakes things up. We have such a powerful Mars alignment tomorrow with that Gemini full moon and the Pleiades all coming together to form a powerful triad or triangle above us. That means that, like I said, we have a lot going on. It would be helpful if you do know where Mars, what sign is in Mars in your chart. So for example, I have Mars in Taurus. Go ahead and check where your Mars lies, and you might be having issues in those areas. So like my Mars is in Taurus, so I already felt that, like I was already going through that as matters within like the root, and kind of financial issues are coming up. I can go through them for a couple of the signs. So if you have Mars in Capricorn, your business might be kind of stalling and going slow, and you're like, what's going on? Mars in Libra, relationships coming up as well too. It could feel like things are moving backwards in that area wherever you have Mars specifically in your individual astrology chart right now. Regardless, feeling a lot of healing for the masculine, then that means, but also expect to shift into a deeper alignment over the next month as well too, as you're receiving some of these energies. It's also going to get a lot darker as we're moving towards the winter solstice. It tends to get darker and darker, so we're kind of moving into that. You guys should be feeling more tuned in though, like more coming through, and we call this time of the year the underworld. It isn't like all the bad that we've been taught through mythology. On the other side of that veil are your loved ones and ancestors that are coming through and trying to reach you. And because we are approaching the solstice, more is kind of happening spiritually right now, whether we're talking elementals or we're talking spirits right now, your own spirit guides. It's also important that you are listening to your spirit guides right now as you're getting a lot of different guidance. The problem is that we have a Gemini full moon, and this is like so huge. So this is big for communication, how you're communicating. Some of you with that Mars energy might be like bubbling up and saying things, and that's okay, because yesterday I had like one of the biggest breakthroughs of my entire ascension, simply having a conversation with someone in my family, right? So like it was very incredibly healing. A lot of our trauma comes from families, so you might be guided right now to be doing healing with your families. Oh my God, if it had such an impact with us going through trauma within families, we can bring such a healing to families during this time as well too, because we're clearing so much within the collective as well too. This is an important time for any star seeds right now, and that's big because of that Pleiadian alignment as well too. We're receiving a ton of galactic energies right now, and even Pleiadian energies, all about kind of self-care right now, because tomorrow is that full moon. So you may want to be kind of resting, cleaning up, clearing up, getting ready for that Gemini full moon. It's going to be one of the strongest moons because it's actually the last full moon of the year, and it's going to help shifting us into the New Year's energies as well too. And so as we're like moving through that 12-12 porthole, moving through the solstice, it's very important which timelines that we're choosing to anchor onto too. Just so important. A lot coming up within relationships because it can make Mars energy can make things kind of, whether maybe some of you guys are feeling more in love or more passionate, but it can be bringing more things up to the surface too if there's healing needed in these areas too. So just kind of individual for what it's bringing up, what you're experiencing and what you're going through, but intense purging and energies for the masculine as we're clearing the masculine collective right now through the rest of this Mars retrograde. I mentioned last time that Sagittarius is very much a masculine energy too, right? That we're moving through, so bringing a lot of upgrades. It depends on what sign you are as to how you're receiving this Sagittarius season too. So any water sign should be flowing through, but it kind of depends. Like if you are like, let's see, if you are a Gemini right now, you're extra feeling the energies. If you're a Sagittarius, you're extra feeling the energies. And how that is kind of depends on you right now. So if you are Gemini or Sagittarius, you're probably being super activated, but you're in your element right now. That full moon tomorrow is powerful as it aligns with the Pleiades, right? And so it's also a sign of twin flame union as well too. Pleiadian starseeds came to Earth to experience love and a deeper love and to bring love to the collective in whatever form. So lots of Pleiadian energies coming through. Gemini is in the sign of the twin flames as well too. I was saying that if you do have Gemini in your chart, it's usually some type of twin flame marker or indicator because it is the sign and symbol of the twins. Lots going on in that area too as we're moving through Mars retrograde, but also clearing things, getting ready for 2023, which is a new year, and bringing new higher frequencies. So we have a lot kind of happening. If you, let's see, being reminded that a lot of you guys do have powerful contracts in spirit, in the spirit side, just as you're having lessons here and you're contracted to learn with people. Sometimes you guys are contracted on the other side too, to have spirit guides or ascended masters that are going to help you while you're making this journey. Let's see. So lots of powerful contracts in the spiritual, being reminded that you're being guided, you're being loved from the other side, tapping into that guidance, getting out of the mind, getting out of the ego, because it's going to be like a total kind of pull. Gemini is a very dualistic energy. Amazing for seeing everyone's point of view, right? So if you have a lot of Gemini, you can probably see others' perspective and point of view, and that's kind of needed in these energies right now. And so powerful to get out of the mind, get out of the ego. A lot of clearing happening. Your ego is not going to come with you the rest. It's not going to make it through Sagittarius season. So we have a burning away or a cleansing happening and clearing of old ego identities. You might have your timelines changing then, like past timelines and things coming up that are like different, almost like the Mandela effect, right? Where things are like different. Like as you're shifting around and doing your ascension, it's changing things or changing timelines. So just knowing that you may be having past timelines coming up for cleansing and clearing. And sometimes we don't always want to do that, but if you have unresolved business or things coming up, it might be coming up right now and it's meant to bring a healing. So if we're going into the root of this kind of stuff, it can bring such a healing right now. We have a lot centered around freedom right now, right? And things like that and space. And that's okay because it's Sagittarius season. And I always say that about Sagittarius. It's always a really weird sign like that. And it's all about that, right? But it's also amazing for adventure and kind of getting out of that box and kind of trying new things and kind of thinking about where you want your year of 2023 to be taking you. All about manifestations for this Gemini new moon, but also clearing energies. We have a powerful conjunction happening, right? And that's with Mars also in Gemini and in the same degree. And so that's what a conjunction is. But also with the sun, we have things happening with the sun the next day after this moon too. So powerful energies as the sun and the moon, Mars and the Pleiades meet above us, right? Merging energies together. Expect major activations. If you are a Pleiadian starseed, expect to go through major upgrades right now. Lots of solar plexus cleansing and clearing. You might be feeling ascension symptoms in the physical body as we're getting ready for the energies of the solstice, and they're going to be like never before. Like huge energies, right? Hitting us. You guys might be feeling it though. Whether you're connecting to the other side more, connecting to spirit more, having more guidance, more awareness coming through, and kind of a cleansing and clearing that is happening right now. Let's see, that's about it kind of going on. Gemini is a powerful sign though right now for your manifestations and kind of your thoughts and where they're taking you right now. I see a lot of clearing of fear that, oh my God, is instant manifesting on so many levels and kind of cleansing and clearing the thoughts and the mind right now. So that's kind of going on with the energies too. That's about it. I'm here if you guys need me for healing sessions. I do tons of healing sessions on my website. I do tons of activations. I do psychic readings and twin flame readings, and I teach classes like Reiki and Sekem. So make sure that you guys are checking out my website, doing things to keep your frequency high right now. Lots of energy in the air, channeling it, whether you're singing, just staying in that higher vibe. If you do have a business, working on your business and kind of making it happen, especially for the feminine. The feminine's really like way ahead of the game with some of that stuff. If you guys have been like on your mission and doing this and that can be frustrating. So the best thing to do is just to focus on your work right now and your spiritual work, and knowing that is your divine light work, and that when you focus on that, it's going to create a lot of positive energy, but it's going to get so much farther. We're finding out that maybe not everyone has our best interests in mind, so we should be working on ourselves on a lot of levels, and that's something that's never going to fail you. Working on whatever it is that you're working on, whatever your side hustle is, whatever your gifts are. And when we sit on our gifts, I know better than anyone, because a lot of times I sit on mine, and when we sit on our gifts, it creates such a spiritual depression if we're just kind of watching all this. And yes, we're being guided to observe, but also we're being guided to tap into our gifts and to share them with the planet, making the planet a better place, a huge focus on the collective right now. Like, I'm kind of over all the, like, oh my God, I'm going to go do this in my life. We actually came here to create a brand new collective and to set aside our own paths so that we could come together to change the planet right now, to heal the collective and to do projects for the collective. So like, the old is going out the window. There's such a divide right now between the old and the new, and not understanding. So those that have been doing the work probably are feeling miles ahead of people that are still in the 3D. And when I talk about 3D, I talk about cycles of dysfunction. And I'm talking about like addiction and full-on problems and not healing the trauma and staying at those levels of asleep. And so there's like a whole half a collective there and another half a collective that have been doing the work and have been breaking those patterns and cycles and are slowly changing. And there's such a divide. And I always say it's like the Matrix always kind of tries to pull you back and doesn't really understand the ones that are asleep and in the Matrix. So there's a little bit of a divide right now. If you're being guided to spend time alone right now, just know that your ancestors are with you a little bit extra, spirits with you a little extra, because we're in that colder part of the year. Like, I'm feeling the energies running through me a little extra. And that is because of, where we're at in this space approaching the solstice too. The solstice is just huge for the activations that are going to come in. December brings such a powerful galactic alignment too, as we're aligning with the galactic center of the universe and kind of getting ready to receive a huge burst of energies through the rest of the month. So, lots of strong energies coming at us right now. Might be feeling a need to self-care, to rest and reflect. Mars going retrograde kind of messes with our sex life, love life, and ambition, but meant to in a good way, to bring a healing and a cleansing. Every time the planets are moving into a retrograde, it's to like clear energies in that area. It's like, if we're always in this flow every day, oh my God, we know what happens. We go to sleep, right? We're always in this same flow. Sometimes we're not even getting the results that we should be, and we're being guided to like stop and step outside of the flow. And retrogrades are like that, where the flow of energy shifts, and then we can kind of reassess where we're at after the retrograde period. So we're kind of like moving through that. Retrograde can be affecting things as it's going to shift out of retrograde. In Gemini, we're seeing lots of Gemini, right? So we're seeing lots of Gemini, all about magic as well too, like ultimate sign for magic, working with, we'll say, the mind and things like that. That's about it kind of going on. Just sending you guys so much love and good energies. If you need me, just book me on my site.